The Heavyweight Workbench Kit is the perfect solution for your work and storage needs. Assembly is simple and requires no special skills. Your Heavyweight Workbench Kit comes with the following parts: 8 identical assembly brackets, 48 bracket screws, and 16 surface screws. To complete the assembly, you will need the following tools: a circular or miter saw, a power drill or driver with a Phillips head driver bit, a tape measure, and a pair of safety goggles. The Heavyweight Workbench can be assembled in a range of sizes. Material cut lists for the most popular 5 and 8 foot lengths are included. Assembly steps are the same for all sizes. For the 5 foot workbench, you'll need 5 8-foot 2x4s and 2 24 by 60 inch pieces of sheet material for the bench top and shelf. While standard plywood is an excellent option, particle board, MDF board, OSB board, or other similar materials can also be used. For the strongest bench, 3/4 inch thick or thicker material should be used. These materials can be purchased from your local home improvement store or lumberyard. If you are assembling an 8-foot workbench, you'll need 7 8-foot 2x4s and 2 2x8-foot pieces of sheet material. For this demonstration, we will be assembling a 5-foot workbench. You will follow the same assembly process for all other sizes, making sure you cut all materials to the proper size for your workbench. Begin by cutting the support rails and legs to the correct lengths from your lumber. Using the tape measure and saw, measure and cut one 56 1/2 inch long support rail and one 36 inch long leg from each of the 4 8-foot long 2x4s, so that you have 4 long support rails and 4 legs. Using the 5th 2x4, cut the 4 20 5/8 inch long short rails. Altogether, you will have cut 4 long support rails, 4 short rails, and 4 legs. Using one of the 4 provided assembly brackets at each corner, assemble the workbench shelf by creating a rectangle with 2 56 1/2 inch long support rails for the shelf length and 2 20 5/8 inch long support rails for the depth. Once the frame is assembled, use moderate pressure to hold the rails in place and secure each of the 4 corner brackets with 2 2 3/4 inch long bracket screws per corner. The screws will be driven through the long rail into the ends of the short rail. Once the corners are secure, set the shelf frame aside and repeat the procedure for the workbench top frame using the remaining long and short rails. Add the 4 corner brackets to the rails, creating a rectangle. Make sure to position the leg openings facing up and secure with 2 bracket screws in each corner as before. Now that the frames for both the identical workbench top and shelf are assembled, place a 36 inch leg vertically into each of the 4 corner brackets on the workbench top frame and secure with 2 2 3/4 inch long bracket screws. Next, measure and place a mark 25 1/2 inches from the top of the bench top rail on the inside of each leg. Remember, the bench is sitting upside down at this point. At each mark, drive a 1 1/2 inch long surface screw 1 inch deep, leaving 1/2 inch of the screw exposed. These screws are temporary and will be used to properly align the workbench shelf in the next step. Slide the workbench shelf unit assembled earlier onto the legs until it rests on the exposed surface screws, and secure the shelf frame with the remaining 16 2 3/4 inch long bracket screws. Once the shelf is secure, remove the 4 temporary exposed alignment screws added in the earlier step. Now flip the workbench right side up. Place one of the 24 by 60 inch shelf surfaces on the top rails, center and secure it with 4 1 1/2 inch long surface screws driven evenly spaced into the rails and 4 1 1/2 inch long surface screws driven into the tops of the legs. With the tape measure, confirm the workbench shelf length needed, measuring the distance between the inside of the legs. With the shelf cut to the correct length, place the shelf on the shelf rails and secure it to the rails using the remaining 8 1 1/2 inch surface screws evenly spaced. This completes the assembly of the Heavyweight Workbench.